Hey Lionheart folks, it's Lev. Welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new, I use he and pronouns. The sun is really bright here and I'm squinching my eyes because the sun is really bright. I wanted to walk and talk about goals in this video, and I guess achieving things and getting to where we want to be in life. I think I might have just found a park that I've not seen before. This park does not look familiar to me. New discovery maybe? I don't know. Oh no, it's the same park I was at last time. It's alright. It's not, it's just, I just came from a different angle. That's why it looks different. So I actually want to go to the park and film. I'm sitting on a rock now, and I'm gonna film a video sitting on a rock. So I guess when we think about it, it can be very overwhelming. Like when I guess a lot of our society in general has built a culture where it implies that our self-worth is based on how successful we are, what we do in life, our status, our money, all of these things, and it can be stressful to try to be successful. Otherwise we feel like we're a failure in life, or that we fall behind in life. We're a failure, we're no good for anybody. All of these unhelpful, very damaging feelings that's sort of reinforced by the society we live in. It's like very hustle culture, very productivity. You gotta do a lot of things and you have to make something of yourself essentially, otherwise you're seen as a failure. And I'm not saying it's not okay to dream big, have ambitions and goals, but I do want to say that even though the world we live in implies that you have to reach certain milestones by a certain age, otherwise you fall behind everybody, I think that we all journey life at our own pace, and it's not too early or too late to do what we want to do. Like, for example, it's not really about, I don't know. I am 24 and I never had my first kiss and I'm a virgin. Like, usually a lot of people have their first kiss, I'm assuming, before the age of 24, and I'm 24, I've never had it. And I don't care. And I'm not gonna go and do it for the sake of fulfilling this age expectation and all this garbage. Like, I don't care. I do it whenever I want to and feel most comfortable, and whenever it suits me in my journey of life. And I'm not too late to the party. Like, I don't even know where all these random expectations and deadlines, age deadlines comes from, for like we have to achieve X, Y, and Z by a certain age, otherwise we're behind everybody else. I don't even know where it came from, but I don't care and I don't follow it, because I'm journeying life at my own pace. It's like we're not all born, like we should be all equal and have equity, but we're not all born into the same environments, surrounded by the same people, have the same opportunities. Like, for example, having opportunity to go to school. I mean, not everyone lives in a house where they feel safe. There's just a lot of things that happen, and we're not all living in like the similar circumstances, yet we're on this race of like life we're on this race of life against each other to like achieve things, but we're not even like given the same baseline to start with. So that in itself is already unfair, and that's why I think everyone should journey life at their own pace and not feel like guilty if our experiences are different to another person's experiences at a similar age. If you've like been experiencing challenges with getting started, for example, if there's like lack of motivation and you sort of know what you have to do but you just find it really hard to do, I guess break down what you want to achieve, or like the existing goal you have, into an even smaller goal. Like literally the smallest possible first step that requires action you take to get started on whatever you want, whatever it is you want to do. For example, if you want to be a writer and you want to write, but then you're having trouble getting started writing because you feel unmotivated. For example, literally tell yourself, I'm going to write 10 words. I'm going to write one sentence. That's it. If I write one sentence, I've achieved something great. And usually what happens is once you get started and you write one sentence, you tend to want to write more. Like I found that like when I sort of procrastinate, like I started getting back into reading. I'm like, I'll just read like a few pages and then I end up reading like 10 pages and I don't want to stop. I guess just setting our goal or the action step to be as small as possible makes it very realistically like, okay, you think about it, you write a sentence, that'll take like 30 seconds. We're like, it's 30 seconds. Then I'll be done with it. It's just 30 seconds, bare minimum. I'll just do 30 seconds, one sentence, and then I'm done. And if you do more, that's awesome. But if you only just write one sentence, that's okay too, because you know what? You took the first step. You actions an item, and that's something to be proud of. Like you actioned it, you took action, and this sort of helps you build the steps that you need, I guess, to make this a habit if you want to make it a habit, or you've made progress. Like think about it, one sentence is better than nothing. It's better than nothing. You still make progress, and that's something to be proud of. Because for me, if like in the past when I had really big goals, it was just overwhelming because I didn't know how I was going to achieve it. Like literally when I started filmmaking, I'm just like, I'm going to make an LGBT short film. I'm going to have all this, I'm going to have crew, I'm going to have a cast, I'm going to sort of be directing people where to act. And I've never made a film before in my life. I've never worked on a film set. I have no film experience, yet my ambitions were ridiculously high. Like make an entire film with cast, crew, book locations and stuff. I just overcomplicated the entire thing for myself, and then I wrote like an entire script and everything, and then I dropped the entire project because it was just unrealistic for my first film as a filmmaker, new filmmaker with zero experience in filmmaking. It was just unrealistic, and then I was very disheartened. And then that happened for a year, and then I didn't touch filmmaking for like a year, and then I tried again at the end of 2018, and that's when I made Silent Social Anxiety short film. Yeah, and that's how that happened. Honestly, like looking back now, like there were a lot of things I could have done better in my first film, but that was my first film, and the fact that I actually put a film together, I wrote a script, I put a film together. That was an achievement in of itself. Like I put a damn film together and it actually makes sense. Even though not things could be improved, yes, but it's my first film. And I did it. And that's a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone. I still did something. I made a film. What I'm trying to say is like our first achievement or something, it doesn't have to be this giant, perfect, if that's even a thing, this super excellent masterpiece of a thing. Like our first one doesn't have to be like that, and we don't have to put pressure ourselves to make our first one this super good thing, because if we just started out, it's unrealistic most of the time, and it can just stress us out, and we just become deterred because of it. Be like, okay, this is too hard, I can't achieve this, why am I even trying? And then we drop the whole thing, and then we stop it because the thing we're trying to achieve is way too unrealistic for our current skill levels, experience, resources, etc. Back to the goals, like I think what's important is consistency more than the quantity of what we do. Like if we do a little bit each day, it still adds up, and it's like it gets us into the groove of things, if that makes sense. We don't have to go beast mode. We can, but just going absolute beast mode at something for like one day and then not touching it for another month it's not ideal. But if we do like a little bit each day, I think that's better, because there's consistency. We're building this habit. If we want to build a habit, we're making progress every day, even though it doesn't feel like it. And then when we look back, when we've I guess traveled to where we want to be in a way, we look back and be like, all of these little steps I've taken actually added up into this long-term thing that where I'm at now. And in terms of the steps itself, we can just slowly level up. Like if you've achieved the step and you're like, it's too easy now, it's okay to level up. But and I guess going backwards is okay as well. It's like if we sort of reach this step and we're like, this is too hard, I need to take a few steps back, that's also okay, and it doesn't invalidate all of the progress we've made moving forward. Like just because we step back and like, I need to decrease difficulty right at this point in time because things are just too overwhelming, it doesn't mean we're a failure. Like going backwards doesn't mean we're a failure. It's okay to step back and be like, I need to reduce the difficulty a little bit, or reduce my goals, what I'm doing, because there's just too much on my plate, and then just level up again when I guess, yeah, level up again, go to the next floor whenever we're ready. Like it's okay to go up and down. Like it's not like you have to follow this upward linear sequence and there's no turning back once you start. Life isn't the expectation is that, oh, linear, we just keep going up, and we never slip back. We just continuously go up. That's not how life works. That's not the reality of life. Like there is a lot of up and down. Sometimes we are like flow, and sometimes we're like shoo, and sometimes it's like down, and then sometimes we go backwards, forwards. That's life. Just like up, down, backward, forward, up, diagonal, any direction. Like it's not one directional, it's not one direction. It's not one direction. It's not. And that's okay, like I said before as well. Going backwards or slipping backwards or having to backtrack and reevaluate our goals and whatever we want to do, it's okay. And it's also okay, we have big dreams and stuff, but we acknowledge right now this is it's not in my reach yet, and I'm not ready for this at this point in my journey. Like it's okay to think about the future, but then acknowledge at the same time that right now it's not ready, like we're not ready for it, and that's also okay. I'll give you an example. Last year, at the end of last year, I could have applied for clinical psychology studies, but I didn't apply because my headspace was not great. I was still working through transphobia and building self-confidence in my own identity, living as a trans man in this world. And even if I somehow got into clinical psych, I would be not in the right headspace to take on full-time study, clinical placement, all of these, a research thesis. Like, even if I got in, I wouldn't be able to do anything because my headspace is not great. I'm not ready for it, and I genuinely don't want to be there yet. And this year, I'm in a better place in my life. I'm ready for it. I genuinely want it, and then that's why I applied. And yeah, like last year, I did tell myself I still did want to be clinical psych. I just wasn't ready for it. And this year I'm ready. That's why I applied, and like that's okay. Just to finish off, I just want to say to like, you define what success means to you. Like it's not. I mean, if having a lot of money and getting all this wealth and having a lot of material objects is your definition of success, that's okay. But that's not everyone's definition of success, and society does not define what success means to us. Like for me, success has been overcoming depression, overcoming anxiety, overcoming internalized transphobia, building self-confidence in my identity, living my truth as a trans man and not giving a fuck about what anyone says and thinks. That's success to me. But then, how many times do we hear stories of success is this trans person finding confidence in living their truth in a world that is not very kind and affirming to trans and gender diverse folks? Like, we never hear that. Success is like, oh, this person has all this money and they have this giant mansion and like they have this beautiful family, and it's just all of that. It's just the same things over and over, and it's like everyone's expected to reach this definition of success when that doesn't actually mean success to everyone. That's why I'm saying it's okay to define your own meaning of success, and you don't have to follow what society thinks success means. Again, also, little wins count. Little wins count, not just like success doesn't have to be this giant thing. Like, it can be this small thing that you achieved. It still counts. Little things count, not just giant things. Alright. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you in the next video.